Okay, so we're on to the last stage of drawing the Oogie Boogie Man now, and this stage involves shading him in. I'm not going to show you how to shade the whole thing in because it could take quite a long time, so what I'm going to do is show you how to shade in the key bits, a couple of key bits, and then I will carry on shading him, but I'll stop the video and then I'll start the video again just as I'm finishing off so you can see the final piece. So we'll start with shading his face in, so that's fairly straightforward really. I also point out that I've swapped to a 2B pencil now. It just gives a little bit more of a depth for shading with. Use whatever you feel comfortable with. You just need something that you're going to be able to make some slightly darker marks with. So his eyes we're literally just going to darken in, and we want to put a little bit of a darker edge along the bottom there. Sorry, the camera was miles away then, so it's not overly easy to see. Just on the eye there, and we're going to do the same on the other one. Just darken underneath that one as well. Okay, and then the mouth is going to follow a fairly similar pattern. We're going to leave it a little bit along here. It's going to be just slightly lighter, so I'm going to pencil that in to begin with so we don't end up colouring it all in and then realising that it's been missed. So start wherever you want to start with. Some nice dark solid lines. Turn drawing ever so slightly. As we come into this area that we've just separated off, just want to fade it down. It's not quite as dark as the rest, just along this bottom edge. Sorry, camera's away again. Just along this bottom edge here. Get the camera to focus on that, there we go. We want to darken this bottom bit here. Just jagged that edge off a little bit more. It's not quite such a smooth light area, but we've just got a little bit of pale area here. Okay, so that's roughly how you shade dark bits in, and his stuffing bits are going to be pretty similar as seams of spit. What I'm going to do is put darker bits around the edge. And bring it slightly lighter towards the middle. And you can add in a bit of slight line over the top if you want, just to give it that slightly rougher look. And the same with this one down here. Highlight the edge. I'm actually doing these quite quickly, shading wise. If you're not too confident, I'd recommend slowing it down slightly. I'm just trying to kind of get some rough bits on just to give you an idea how to start shading them in. Okay. And then I'll pick an area of him to show you how to shade. So let's start with his left arm, and it will just give you a rough idea how to go about shading him in. So what we're going to do is we're just going to darken our seam lines and the stitches, because we don't want these to get lost whilst we're shading. You can see compared to the other ones now they're quite darker. And then we're going to start with the creases, and we're going to again darken those just a little bit. And then starting at the edge of these, I usually find it's easiest just to work our way out. Highlight one edge, and then we want to gradually bring that out lighter in between. And we don't want to make him too dark because he's quite pale. Normally, I just find it easiest to put all the dark parts in first. See, under his arm is going to be slightly darker because that's out of the light. Just keep making gentle strokes. And then join all of that up. And just fade in. It's obviously quite rough, and I'll tidy this up when I go on to shade them all in, but it's just to give you a rough idea. Try and keep your pencil lines going in sort of the direction of what his creasy bits and the actual shape of him is. If you noticed, I haven't suddenly changed direction out of the ordinary. I'm trying to kind of follow the shape of him. That way you get the best lines and shapes. And it's just a case of building that up slowly but surely. Darkening these areas. If you find you have gone a bit too dark in an area, then if you just get a rubber, and you can just gently take some of that colour sort of back off again. But what I'll do is I will leave that there for now. It just gives you sort of a rough idea how to begin shading him in, and then we'll come back once he's shaded in and I'll give you just a couple little more tips on how to finish him off. So see you shortly. Okay, so this is my Oogie Boogie Man all shaded in. I've done it quite roughly just to get it done so I can show you all the sort of last couple of tiny little bits. So what I'm going to do is just take a rubber, and as I mentioned in the last video, well, the last step was you can use a rubber just to bring a little bit of highlight back in. So put a little bit along his belly there, I'll put a little bit down here, and I'll go with a little bit down here, arm, and another bit. Just try and work that into the crevices of his arm there, and a little bit along there, and then we'll do a bit on his head. Just brings the highlights out on him a little bit more. And then I'm going to go back to my H pencil, and what we want to do, because he's all fabric-y or sort of made of sack-like material, we just want to put some very, very faint lines. Just run those, just keep them going roughly in the same direction, going down to begin with, all the way along. Aren't overly obvious. I'll try and just about make them out there. Keep bringing them down the body as well. It's very, very rough. Try and keep them evenly spaced as well. All the way down on the bottom half. Sorry, you have to excuse me, the lead on this pencil has had it. All the way down, and then what we want to do is go back up and start putting them in, going the other way. You'll find that these probably only really show up more so in the areas that you've just rubbed out. That's ideally what we want. So they're going to help to bring in that effect of his fabric, kind of sack sort of body. They're really going to just help to finish him off. Okay, so you can hopefully see that coming through now. And just to finish him off completely, I'm going to go back to the 2B pencil. I'm just going to put a little bit of shadow in along the bottom here. There's nothing worse sometimes than a picture on a really clean white background and it just looks a bit empty behind. So just being quite rough with this, and what we'll do is we'll bring this up just kind of making the sort of shadow up really. Just into a little bit of a point shape there, so I'll just darken that up a second and I'll come back again. Okay, so there we have it, that's the final thing. So I hope you found this helpful, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask or say, and hopefully I'll be posting another video similar to this soon. Thanks, bye for now.